While exploring Google Earth, I stumbled upon something truly bizarre. It was a strange white structure perched on the summit of an isolated mountain. It looks man-made, but I have no idea what it could be. And what makes it even stranger is the fact that it is found in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the thick jungles of Sri Lanka, with no record of any sort of trail or path leading to it. So what could this structure be, and why was it built in such an isolated place? I decided to go find out for myself, so headed out on an adventure to try reach this mysterious site in person. But this turned out to be a crazy adventure that truly tested my limits and led to some insane discoveries. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. My adventure began with a bumpy 2-hour tuk-tuk ride, which took me deep into the remote countryside of Sri Lanka and towards the isolated mountain I would need to summit. But as I got closer, the road soon ran out, and so it was time to continue the journey on foot.
Carefully, safety.
See ya.
See you.
All the best.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I have just been dropped off in a super remote part of Sri Lanka, and as you can see, I'm at the base of a mountain in the middle of a rainforest, and yeah, I am really super duper remote. It's going to be an epic but crazy adventure. So now let's talk through the plan for this adventure. My first goal is to hike to this remote train station, at which point I will then jump on the tracks and follow them, hopefully avoiding the train, till I reach this far more remote train station that is found in the heart of a dense jungle. But here's where things get really difficult, as I need to find a trail that might not even exist and hopefully follow it up to the summit of the mountain, where I should be able to explore the strange structure I found on Google Earth. Now I say I should be able to because I actually have no idea. There is no record of any trails around here on AllTrails, on Google Maps, on Komoot, on any navigation device. The best guess that I can see from researching online is to get to this train station, walk along it, and hopefully find some sort of trodden path that will lead me up to the top of the mountain. But I actually don't even know if it's possible. So this is pretty crazy of me to do. But the first goal anyway is to reach this train station. And for that, I definitely know all I need to do is follow this road. Then after that, we are really leaving the civilization behind. We haven't really even begun our ascent, and already I am faced with some stunning views of the valley below me. Oh my word. Look at this. That is the butt of a cow. There's your first wildlife, just there. I know that's why you come to the channel, to see wildlife videography like that. The distant butt of a cow. You're welcome. So I'm not too worried right now, but later on, once we get off the road, something that I'll have to keep an eye out is the wildlife here. We've got leopards and elephants, wild buffalo, snakes, tarantulas. I'll also have to keep an eye out for leeches. I've got my gaiters on, which should give me protection, but apparently there's quite a bit of leeches, and we will be doing some off-trail hiking, which I can't really believe I'm saying that. As I speak about the adventure I'm undertaking, the more I realize, why on earth am I doing this adventure? But views like this explain why. We're in such a stunning place, and it's such a joy to be able to come and explore it. Okay, this is looking promising. I feel like this should take me to the train station. Again, I don't really have any maps or trails to go off, so I've just got to eyeball it and hopefully make the right decisions. Okay, we got some abandoned buildings here. Here we go. This is definitely the train station. I've reached it. Okay, objective 1 complete. Now, I'm just gonna follow the train line this way. And this must be the old train station here. Looks like there's a newer one up here. There's an old one just here. Here's the name of the train station. I'm not gonna try pronounce it. So this is obviously still used, this part of it. Now this was actually the first major challenge of the adventure, because I had no idea if I was even allowed onto the track. This is an active rail line, with trains going along it daily. So if the staff at the station stopped me from going onto the tracks, then my adventure would be over before it even began. So I quietly made it over to the end of the platform, and as the saying goes, monkey see, monkey do. Luckily for me, nobody seemed to care as I walked onto the train tracks, and so the first obstacle of my adventure was completed. But I still had many more obstacles I would need to face on this journey, and they would certainly not be so easy. Because this is still an active rail line, and so this has still got a train going past it, and I am sure it ain't gonna stop for me. So if I hear anything, I'm gonna have to jump off the train track. But what a cool experience! It looks like we're coming up to a cave. We are definitely not going through this tunnel. Can't even see the other side. It is obviously very long, and yeah, if I'm in here and the train comes, I'm a Josh pancake, and I do not want to become a pancake today. So I think I see another way around. We're gonna go try. There's the cave. I think I'm not the only person to have the idea of going around. Wow, I am beside such a stunning view. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got a sketchy bridge. Look at this. All right. Oh, wow. And look. You got a cave in there. Oh, I wish I could go check it out. There's no way to get to it. Also, check out the view. If I had to guess what that cave is, it's just ventilation for the tunnel. Especially if that's a coal-fired train. It's going to be a lot of soot in there. Not great if it's open-air carriage. So my thought is maybe that's what that is. Gosh, look at this. Wow. Woo. So my goal now was to find a way to reconnect with the train tracks so I could follow them on to the next remote train station. But as I hiked along the trail, I soon ran into a big problem. Trail is getting worse and worse, which is not good. Oh. It's barely a trail at this point. It'd be very easy to get lost and step on something that shouldn't be stepped on. Just getting a little worried there that I was going to be completely off trail. Looks like I'm rejoining the track now. It's a beautiful, beautiful train line. I definitely prefer this over the thick grass. So this train line was actually built by the British in the 1860s, when Sri Lanka was a British colony. It was built to transport tea from the highlands to the coast. But this train line is not the only relic of colonial history found here. The very mountain I am aiming to summit today is also steeped in fascinating and bloody history from around this time. For centuries, the peak was a strategic stronghold, guarding the ancient Kandyan kingdom from the foreign invaders. The British and Dutch both tried to conquer these lands, but the Kandians, masters of guerrilla warfare, fought fiercely from these very slopes. Particularly in the 1803 British invasion, Alagala became a key battleground, so perhaps the structure I found in this summit is related to this military past. So I've just been walking along the train track for a while, and I think for the first time I'm getting a view of the mountain I gotta go up. And it looks massive. Alright, after a bit of walking along the train track, I think I am coming up to another station. And this is the station where I need to now leave the train track and find a trail, if there is any. Alright, we've reached the train station. Let's find the trail up. Okay, it looks like I can go this way. And it goes up the mountain. This is me officially leaving the train tracks behind now. It actually looks like there's a paved road right now, which is super handy. I'm not sure how long this will last, but I will enjoy it for now. Actually looks like I've come into a small community. This is a beautiful, beautiful village that I'm in right now. Hello, hi. This is beautiful. Really lovely. Have a nice day. What a beautiful village and beautiful people. Super friendly. Even the dogs were all bark, no bite. I think I'm coming to the edge of the village though now. I gotta keep an eye out when this becomes a trail. Alright, I've definitely left the village behind now. The road has turned into a trail, but it's honestly transitioned very nicely into a trail. So far, so good. Okay, so far, not good. I got two ways I can go. That way, or this way. Let's go this way. It's going up. Mountains go up, so there's my logic. Let's do it. Fingers crossed that was the right way. It looks like another way I could go here. I'm gonna stay in the more trodden trail. Also, cool rock. Look at that. Now that I was on the trail, I was going to have to be really careful, as this is when things would get much more difficult and more dangerous. For starters, I didn't even know if I was on the right trail that would lead me to the summit of the mountain. And if I got lost, I had no map to help me back to the village. I was now totally on my own, deep in the Sri Lankan jungle, and the threat of wildlife was now something I would need to take seriously. And as I continued along the jungle trail, my worst fears became a reality, as I met face to face with a fearsome beast.
This is Doug, the jungle dog, and although he wasn't happy to see me, I was very happy to see him, because he is indeed a cutie pie.
Hello. Hello. We're leaving the trees a bit. We can see just the massive rock that is the mountain we've got to get up. I don't know if the camera does it justice. This thing is just towering over me right now. I think this trail is going to get really steep really quick, but I am just happy I'm on a trail and that it seems to be going the right direction. I've just noticed something really strange. Look, that's a good trail. It's all rocks and dirt. It's been all rocks and dirt. But here is a concrete trail. That is so weird. Look at this. My goodness. Wow. What on earth? Now you might be thinking I'm getting overly excited about concrete, although that may be true. Think about logistically how you would make this. And why has it only begun here and not further down the mountain? If this was made for the village, it would have led to the village, but it's not. Which means I think this is related to the colonial past or military past of this mountain. Obviously something started here and they wanted to make it easier to get to the mountain. What's even crazier is that this is a great trail and yet there's no record of it online. All of these questions. Let's go further up and see if we can figure out the answers. Oh, coming up to a structure at the end of this trail. What is this? Looks like a very simple shack. Maybe a bed or somewhere to sit. Tell you what, good spot to build it. Woo! That is a view. I don't know if the camera does justice how steep this is. It's steep. Look at this here. Looks like some sort of stone structure. Yeah, this is definitely man-made. Huh. Okay, no top to it. Whatever it is has been overgrown now. It is hot and humid. I am sweaty and lazy. Those are tough combinations. This is looking like the last shady bit, and we're gonna head on to the rock face. I think the trail's gonna get really difficult, more dangerous and more exposed. Oh, look at this. You got some sort of sign. I have no idea what it says. But then boom, look at this. Oh, I hope it's like this the whole way up. That will be so handy. Again, it's just crazy the effort gone into making sure you can get to the top with these stairs, concrete stairs. You gotta think, how are you transporting it up here? You've seen how I've had to hike up. Oh. Yeah, I don't trust this. This line has not been used for a while. It is rusted and barely hanging on. I think I'll just trust my own hand on the stairs. What a view!
I honestly couldn't believe how easy this part of the hike was. It was a lovely stair trail taking me up what should have been the steepest and hardest part of the hike. But all that was about to change and things were about to take a drastic turn for the worse.
We're coming back into the forest, and with that, trail becoming more overgrown again. I have no idea if I'm going the right way. I gotta get up there though. Right now, that does not look possible. This trail is wild, or lack of trail now. I'm just following the rock because it kind of is cutting to the side, but I just don't want to slip. That would not be good.
I was so close to the summit, but I was starting to worry I wouldn't actually be able to reach the top. I wasn't even sure if I was still following a trail, as it was completely overgrown and super steep. And with the weather now turning a humid 35 degrees, I was about to run into another very serious problem.
This is all the water I got left, which should be okay, but this has got to get me down the mountain too. If I don't reach the top soon, it's going to start getting really dangerous. Golly. I don't even know what's trail anymore. Oh, look at that. There's the top. It is still looking very steep. I don't know how I'm going to get up that. Oh. Oh. I'm on a flat. I am on a flat. I think I've hit the ridge. And I must be almost there. Whoa, check this out. It's actually a house up here. This is not what I saw on Google Earth. This is some sort of concrete structure. I think it's holding water. How do you even build this up here? Let's check out this house. I'd be very surprised if anyone is living up here. Hello? Some bottles. People have definitely been here. There's writing on the wall. I wonder if it's a shelter, you know, the equivalent of a bothy in the UK, which is basically a mountain shelter. But, this is not the structure I saw. It's a total different color. Let's keep going. Oh, something there. Something right there. A big white dome. What is this? Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at this. This doesn't look military at all. I think my theory is way off. Look at the views that it faces either side. Oh my goodness. It looks like this has been built into the side. Maybe a water gatherer, although I would not want to drink that water. Look here, you got a random fenced off bit. What? Look at this. Oh my goodness. Looks like a massive foot carving and people have put money into it. That is really, really cool. I can't believe that. What a place for a foot. Obviously it's sacred or something because they don't want people stepping on it. I think this looks like a temple. Just from the top spiral bit, it looks like maybe Buddhist. But let's go for a closer look and see. This is super epic. This is the structure I found on Google Earth for sure. You've got a little fountain beside it. I think that's what this is, fountain. I mean, the design is quite intricate. Oh, you got a bell? You got a bell up there? That's cool. Here you go. Here's a sign saying what it is. Don't know what that says. If anyone is Sri Lankan in the comments and can read that for me. Right, let's head inside. This is definitely a temple. He scared me a bit. Alright, well that answers what this is. That is definitely a Buddhist temple. This is an amazing place for a temple. I just can't imagine what it would have taken to build it. Looks like there's another building attached to the back of this temple. Looks like it's often locked, but not today. Let's get a torch on. Got a stove on the ground. Looks like a small kitchen. There's a sink there. Doesn't look like it's in use anymore. And here you got a bathroom, which also doesn't seem to be used. Perhaps that is where the monks stay whenever they are up here. Doesn't look like it's been used for a very long time though. And then here is the edge of the mountain. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. More Sri Lanka videos coming soon. And yeah, if you'd like to see more adventures like this, or if you have any recommendations on where I should go to in one of my next videos, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.